Guten Tag, pen friends. This is Tom with Gold Spot Pens.
And this is Kristina from the Lamy Flagship Store in Heidelberg.
We're here to check out the Lamy store, and Kristina's going to give us a little tour, a little bit of history about the store, and talk about Lamy's overall reach as far as a global brand, but not only that, but just talking about the store as like a heart inside of here in Heidelberg.
Yeah. So the store was opened in February of 2016, and I started here as a store manager, so I got to open the store firsthand.
Very nice.
Which was an amazing experience for us, especially in Germany. We're a huge brand. We're known from small kids to very old adults, so everybody tends to use Lamy pens, and it's just been an amazing ride ever since we got to open the store. Heidelberg is a very popular city with tourists, so we also have German customers, but also very international, and so it's just fun to spread the love for Lamy, more be like a Lamy ambassador, brand ambassador basically. Absolutely. To introduce people to the amazing pens that we produce here in Heidelberg. It's just amazing to see, because every year we have special editions that we introduce to our markets and to our customers, and then being able to see how popular these colors are, and seeing Absolutely. That we have collectors coming into the store, being so close, like you said, to the headquarters in Heidelberg. We usually tend to be the first ones within the German market to have the special colors available. So it's always great to have people come into the store checking, because they usually have pictures from Instagram or Twitter that they found on the internet, already, and they know exactly it's coming. Exactly. So it's always really, really exciting to have them coming and just seeing that it's not just old people. It's like 7 to 8 year olds, but then you have 50-year-olds collecting safari pens. That is usually a pen that is used for school. Right. So it's just amazing to see how excited people are, especially kids who have these pens already and have like the regular standard colors. Right. Once they see limited colors, they're like, actually I don't need one, but I really love the colors, and Mom, please, can I get it? And especially on the weekends when we have all these families coming in. Right. It's crazy in here because all these kids are going crazy, especially 2 years ago we introduced the Lamy Lux. Yes, and the rose gold color is so special, it's so unique. We were the first ones to introduce these kind of colors into the market. Now everybody's doing them now, right. But we used to be one of the first ones to do it, and pretty much every girl asked their dad or their mom to get the rose gold color.
Yes. We were discussing with the sales manager, and he was saying that he travels all across the globe.
He does,
and interacts with Lamy pen fans from all over the place.
Yes.
So you have a nice, neat explanation of just where all of these pens are going to.
Yes. So what really is exciting to think that we are a brand that was founded in Germany in 1930. The distribution internationally is so broad. Like you said, he travels all over the world to talk to collectors and pen lovers. It's amazing to see that we, despite so many people, only have one production site.
Yes.
So I think that is something that we can be really proud of.
Everything comes from Heidelberg.
Everything comes from Heidelberg. So the refills, the ink, the pens, anything that you see with our pens is actually made in Heidelberg only. Mm-hmm. We do not have any other production site because quality to us is so important. And that's why if you look at the Lamy slogan, it'll always say Lamy design made in Germany. So it's not just the design that we're coming up with, but it's also the entire production. So this is something that we're really proud of. And then being able to produce everything in Heidelberg, yet being able to be on so many different markets is quite challenging, but yet also really rewarding to us. And we want to make sure that everybody is happy while maintaining the quality of our pens.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it started initially as this is a school brand. German children would write with the pens to start off with in their primary schooling. And but now it's being seen as a lifestyle brand.
Absolutely.
Being used by all ages. And we did see in the factory that Kai was showing us around, and he is very proud of a lot of the newer machines that he was able to put in place, and the newer systems and more efficiency, more productivity to meet those demands that you're speaking of when it comes to the international markets.
Yeah. And that is also great to see that the Lamy family is such a strong supporter of all that we're doing. Like all these investments obviously mean a lot of millions of euros that have to be invested, and seeing that all the employees are so supported by the Lamy family is just, it's a nice feeling. I think the entire company it's like a big family. You can tell that everybody is really passionate about the product. And I think that also stems from the fact that in Germany, we all start to learn to write with a Lamy fountain pen. So whenever you start first or second grade is when you usually are gifted a Lamy fountain pen. So everybody that is growing up is very much in love with Lamy pens, and you just can't help it because that's all we know. Some people, even Germans, they don't know that Lamy is actually made in Heidelberg.
Really?
So what happens, they walk by the store and you get to hear, wow, a Lamy store, that is amazing. And then they come into the store and you get to tell them about our history, about our facts, about our culture. And everybody is just, reminding themselves of how it used to be when they used to go to school and how they used their fountain pens and when they first got their first Safari pen. Because if you don't start to learn with the ABC pen, it's usually a Lamy Safari pen, and this is like the go-to pen in Germany.
Right.
So, like back in my days, we used to have either a red or a blue or a yellow one, and now it's like, oh, I remember I had this one. Which one did you have? And then they start talking about it. It's just a great experience.
It is, yeah. And then just speaking of, I brought my first one that I had.
Perfect. See, with the old
black,
clip.
Yeah, with
Perfect.
the black clip.
Got it. That is so cool.
And that was the one that when I first started working for Goldspot.
Yeah.
It was back 12 years ago that
Yes.
I didn't even really know anything about fountain pens because
Yes.
I initially had received as a gift a ballpoint pen. It was a Parker Sonnet, so it was a nicer quality ballpoint pen.
Yeah.
But it was my college gift, so I never experienced a fountain. I go and I join Goldspot and they have fountain pens. I'm like, oh, well, what's this? And I start talking to customers. It's like, oh, you need to try this.
Yeah.
So the quintessential starter pen was the Lamy Safari. So I was like, all right, well, I'll give it a shot. And ever since then, now I have graduated on to other things, but I still have it.
Right.
And it's lasted over a decade so far, and it hardly looks even, that it's endured any sort of hardship.
So my generation, we grew up on these pens, and now is the time that you would start a family and have kids and stuff. And we get to have moms and dads coming into our store saying, well, this is my pen that I used to write with, and I would like to give it to my son or my daughter. Is there a chance that we can actually maybe put on a new nib so I can, give it to my daughter and or son. So it's just great to see that this is a pen that retails for about 20 euros, that it's a very long lasting. Obviously the quality is amazing, but then there is so much emotions behind it.
Absolutely.
So it's like generation after generation that are using maybe even the same kind of pen, or with the Lamy 2000 that were introduced in 1966, which made Lamy famous for what it is today. We have people who bought like the first generation Lamy 2000 pens, and they gifted to their nieces, nephews, or daughters and sons, and they're just so happy to have that as a gift because it has so many memories that you would bring in connection to these kind of pens. So it's just great to see that people don't just, you would think that it's just a pen, and maybe if you were in the headquarters, you saw the slogan Lamy, it's not just a pen. It really is not just a pen. So with our culture, it's just very much part of our culture and our DNA to write with a fountain pen and also with a Lamy pen. So to us, it's something that we use on a daily basis, but it also is a part of your everyday life in a way of, I graduate from school, I have a certain Lamy pen, usually a Safari pen. But then I go to university, I maybe start to upgrade onto a Lamy Studio pen. Then I graduate college, and then I buy myself a Lamy 2000 pen to celebrate my graduation. So for every chapter in your life, there's a matching kind of pen, which I think is a great advantage for Lamy, because if you look at other competitors, they don't have a pen for every kind of age group. Whereas with Lamy, for every age group and for every occasion, there is the matching pen.
We actually got to see a 2000 made from start to finish.
Today?
Yes, today.
Perfect.
Yeah, and we did see also too over here, if we want to transition.
Yeah, sure.
We did see a couple of processes that actually showed the testing, the extensive testing that goes on, not only with fountain pen nibs, but also with the ballpoint nibs. And you have that there too. So this is not necessarily. I mean, they don't open the factory for the public tours. We actually got, this is like a special thing for us, but this is something that is part of the Heidelberg store experience. Is this something that's also in other Lamy stores as well, or is it just in the flagship store?
It's just in the flagship store. Just because of our proximity to our headquarters, we were very lucky to have one of these old machines for us to show to our customers. Just like you said, it's not possible anymore for regular people, for fans, supporters, or anything to visit the factory. But we wanted to give them a glimpse and an idea of what it's actually like. And that is why we have this machine here. This is why we have some of the pictures here. You also see the entrance to our headquarter building, so that we can at least give some information and also make people understand all the stuff that it takes to produce. Like, 'cause on these pictures, you actually get to see a little bit of the nib production. You also get to see the test writing. So to many people, they don't understand that we actually do all of these things, and especially when it comes to nib production, which takes a lot of engineering as well. Actually, all these nibs that we're producing, be it steel or gold, they're actually being test written before they're being sold. So every single nib is tested before it's distributed or sent to any kind of retailers. And sometimes people, if they buy a pen and they see some kind of ink residue on it, they're like, oh, it was used before. Well, it was not used by a customer, but actually by our testing department to make sure that the quality really meets the standards that we want our products to meet. So this is something that we always get to explain to our customers, and it helps to have all this information here just to give them an idea of, you know, all the stuff that goes into producing any kind of pen that we sell to them. Okay, so what you see here in this area basically is everything that we have for kids between 4 to, let's say, 9 to 10 years old. Okay. And like I said earlier, in Germany, you start to learn how to write with the Lamy ABC pen. So the Lamy ABC pen is our beginner's pen that is made of maple wood, and you have a mechanical pencil and a fountain pen. These come in 2 different colors. You have red and you have blue. And usually first grade, you start learning to write with a mechanical pencil. And then once you graduate writing with a mechanical pencil, you continue writing with a fountain pen because you've now learned how to actually write. Right. And understanding that you'll be able to use a fountain pen. And then this fountain pen comes with a smaller grip, and I can maybe show it to you what it actually looks like. So the grip, basically, if you learn how to write, you're between 6 to 7, at least in Germany. So therefore you have to have a small grip that is ergonomically shaped, so it's easy for you to use and hold the pen. Okay. And you will have that in both pens, the mechanical pencil and the fountain pen. But if, let's say, you're 7 to 8 and your hands are a little bit bigger, this is almost going to be too small. Okay. And this is where we start introducing the Lamy Next pen. So as you can, longer grip. Exactly. And the nib that we have on the pens is pretty much the same one, so the quality is the same. It's just that if your hands and your fingers are too big, there is no point using a smaller grip, and that's why we offer the bigger one. So what we have, especially on the weekends or during summer break, we have a lot of parents coming in with their kids, and they get the chance to sit down here and actually try the different fountain pens, try the different nib sizes, because it's also available for left-handed. The next step, basically, because you don't only write in school, you also get to paint a little bit and draw a little bit, is why we expanded our product to different colored pencils as well. And here with Lamy, you have different kind of colored pencil. Now what you have here is the Lamy Color Plus. The Color Plus collection was introduced in March of this year, so it's fairly new. But we also have different kind of colored pencils that you could use. We have the Lamy Plus collection and also the Lamy 4 Plus. And then there is the Lamy 3 Plus. These are colored pencils that you could also blend with water. Ah, okay. So basically everything that you see in this area basically is made for school supply.
Were these made in a store?
Yes. So if we have people who come in who tend to have a little bit more time on their hands, they actually sit down. It's not just kids, actually. It's actually adults who sit here and actually spend up to an hour almost sitting here, and then they usually have their phones. Let's say they're traveling Europe, and like that lady up here, she visited Berlin, and she had a picture on her phone, and she sat down here and she actually drew that picture for us. Yeah. Some is made of our staff, and others are just made like this one as well. People who just sit here and start drawing different things, and then we keep the nicest ones on the wall. That is fun. Yep. quality to us is really expensive, but it doesn't mean that you have to pay a fortune in order to afford a Lamy pen.
Right. You don't need to block out people. It's more inclusive of saying like everybody can enjoy this.
Exactly. With Lamy, it's pretty much what you buy is what you get. Like, why would we put any kind of crazy details on a pen if it doesn't add to its functionality?
Right.
But understanding that really much so goes back to our culture and our company and our CI, our identity. It's that with Lamy pen, we follow the Bauhaus tradition. So when it comes to design, form follows function. That is pretty much the Bauhaus philosophy. So it means that why would you have to add some kind of glitter, let's say, onto a pen?
Or diamonds.
Exactly, because it's not going to add to, I mean, it makes the pen look prettier to some people maybe, but it's not going to add to the functionality of the pen.
Right.
So this is why if you go to any kind of Lamy shop or store, you will see that the design usually is very minimalist. And this all goes back into this Bauhaus philosophy. And that's why every store will kind of look the same, very minimalist, a lot of white, a lot of gray, because white and gray are the company colors. So that to us is really important. This enables us to really, put the focus on the pens.
Yes.
We are the only Lamy retail store in Germany. Everything else is usually distributed via department stores.
Yes.
And it's just great to see that if we have customers coming from a department store and they're looking for something, we can make sure we have it for them. And if we don't have it, and that goes back to what we talked about earlier, being so close to the headquarters, you can just call them and make sure
send a cab over.
Yeah, basically, latest the next day, we usually tend to have the product for the customer, which is just amazing customer service that we're able to do.
What is your personal favorite?
My favorite is the Lamy Studio pen. I have a fountain pen and the ballpoint pen to go with it, and if you want to, I can show you the colors that we have available right now.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Let's take a look.
So as you can see here, we have a whole bunch of space in order to show all the different kind of pens that we have available within the Lamy collection. And the Lamy Studio is my favorite because I just love all the different colors that it tends to come in every year. And you can also choose if you wanted to go with a gold nib or a steel nib without having to pay a whole bunch of money.
And do you offer both options here, or is it just based on what the pen comes with initially?
No, we have also the chance to upgrade every pen that we have. So we do have spare parts.
So you could order a Safari with a gold nib if you really
Exactly, and we actually have people doing that.
Okay.
Heidelberg is a city with a big university, and we have a whole bunch of students that love to write and have to do it because in their exams, they're required to write with a fountain pen, actually. They love to write with something that is quite smooth.
Right.
And obviously a gold nib tends to be quite smooth, and therefore we actually have them asking or looking for a pen, and they know the Safari from school, but they don't want to have the steel nib. They want to have the comfort of a smooth gold nib, so they tend to buy a gold nib with a Safari pen. So this is not uncommon for our store.
To each his own, as
Yep.
goes,
So like I said, my favorite is the Lamy Studio.
Oh, wow.
And the great thing about the flagship store is that we get to really have every pen in every color and all the different nib sizes that they come in. So what you're grabbing now is the rollerball pen. As you can see here, it comes in so many different colors. Up here, we have the two options that are available from the get-go with gold nibs. Then over here, we have the standard collection colors, which is the blue and the imperial blue and the black color. And then we also have these colors down here right now, which are the...
And then you have extra fine, medium, and broad.
Exactly.
I guess to do like a test if you wanted to show somebody how, and they're inked of course as well.
Yes, they are.
Very nice.
Because what we want to do, we want to display all that we have to offer, because usually if you go to a department store, they don't carry the entire collection. So we want to make sure you get to see everything, and then you also get to try every pen without having to open a pen every single time a customer is asking for it.
Yes.
That's why if you look into all of our cabinets, you will always find all kind of pens with all different nib sizes available. What was basically my latest purchase that I did was the Lamy Studio in the color olive. So this is the special edition color for 2018.
Right.
My personal nib size, because my handwriting tends to be quite big, is B.
Is broad, okay.
Usually men tend to have extra fine or fine, and women usually tend to have medium and B.
Okay.
And I happen to be one of those as well. What's great about it, I could now upgrade to a gold nib if I wanted to, but also the price point is great. It's considered one of our premium writing instruments. So premium writing qualifies by having great material, exclusive material, high-end material, usually a gold nib as well.
Yes.
But the great thing about the Lamy Studio is just an entry price point. So in Germany, the recommended retail price is €59. So it's not too expensive, but I still get great quality and an amazing pen to write with. Every year we have special editions, and therefore colors that are only available for a certain amount of time.
For a limited time.
Exactly. So whereas last year we had the olive and terracotta that we just saw, this year we're going to have 2 more special colors dropping for the Lamy Studio, and it's going to be the Lamy Studio in all black, which is highly anticipated already. And then we're going to have the Lamy Studio in aquamarine.
That's
so this is more like a turquoise color.
Yeah, I actually seen a preview of it at the stationery show back in January. And the aquamarine, oh man. I'm a big fan of blue. So like I see like an aquamarine, I'm like, oh, that's
like a must buy.
Resist, yeah. But the all black though, that also has the black trim. So it's like it's like the Luxe, but it just in the studio version.
Exactly, and it's going to come with the Luxe nib as well. So it's going to feature a lot of the Luxe collection. That's why the name is a combination of the two.
Right.
And it almost kind of introduces like a new collection.
Right.
Because ever since we introduced the Lamy Luxe, we tried to make almost like a hybrid of a regular standard, like the Luxe is a modern writing, but it has like some high quality materials to it that makes it a lot more smoother, almost like a premium writing pen without being premium writing, without being premium writing expensive. And it's the same that we did earlier this year with the Lamy Emporium Luxe, which is one of our most expensive pens that we have. It has some of the greatest materials that we use for fountain pens. So these 2 that you see here are 2 limited editions that we dropped, and we turned the Lamy Emporium into more of a lifestyle kind of pen by having rose gold features or just plain white. And as you can see, the fountain pen is already sold out. That's why it's not displayed in the rose gold option.
Oh wow.
And it's going to be the same with the Lamy Studio all black Luxe. So we're going to have the feature of some Luxe pens and then some matte black, which we all know is going to be very popular. So we're excited for that to drop.
Absolutely.
If you look at our open presentation over there, which is very, very popular with our customers, because if you come into the store, this is the first thing that you actually get to see. And we all like to try stuff and we all like to experience things. So it's just natural for every human being to just want to grab something and just try it.
And the color just attracts you to say like, oh, pick me up. Right with me,
Exactly. So what you see here actually are all the current limited editions that are out with Lamy within the young writing segment. So as you can see here, we just talked about them, the Lamy Safari Pastel. Then we have some of the Lamy Ulster Pacific that we had last year.
Yes.
There was another production made last year, and we were able to reorder some of these pens, which is why we have these big quantities available. And then this year's limited edition, the Lamy All-Star Bronze. And people really love the product, especially since it comes with its matching ink, bottle, and cartridge. This one, as you can see from the wall, is very successful. Usually we would have all kind of ballpoints here. You can still see 5 green ones. These are the only ones we have left. Pink and blue are already sold out, and we started selling them, I think, 5 weeks ago.
Wow.
So that just speaks for the popularity of the product.
Absolutely. And you were mentioning about the matching bronze ink.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you personally, what is your favorite ink color?
Turquoise.
Turquoise. All right.
It just looks great. It just makes me happy to look at it. I don't know. It's great.
Yeah. It's like it like I feel like if I look at a whole page written in turquoise, like it just calms me down.
Exactly. Definitely, I agree. Yeah.
Especially when you're writing with a broad nib too, you get to see some of that shading, we call it, which is like the differential in the color tones from one side of the line to the other.
Yeah. So. Awesome.
All right, well, thank you so much for showing us around and talking about your favorite pens and inks and talking about the history of the new history of this store and what it's like to have a beautiful fine writing store like this in a historic town like Heidelberg, Germany. And I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to do this and to show it to the entire world. And thank you for the time invested in it as
I'm
well.
glad you could stop by, and I hope you really liked it. Make sure to look around and grab those limited colors that are coming later this fall.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm definitely looking forward to some of the stuff that's coming out. I'm very excited for it.
Yes. It's going to be a good year, 2019, but 2020 is even going to be more spectacular. Okay, I'm not. You have to tune in for that one.
All right, so thank you so much for tuning in and checking out our walkthrough of the Heidelberg Lamy Flagship Store. And this is Tom Oddo with Gold Spot Pens, and as always, thank you, my friends. Take care.